when they got here, we hurt them. So they're probably coming here to hurt us, and we got a lot of South Africans in that team as well. This game is going to be a tight game. And it's going to be a 50-50.
I've got a gun to your head. Juan de Jong, make a prediction. What are you going with?
I think... We back, baby. Home sweet home, Ruckers. Okay, it's January and you know, cash content. Hopefully you got your cash content. Welcome back to your number one rugby podcast. You know who it is. It's the wannabe bodybuilder JDJ in the house. Is next to me is the one and only.
It's the short guy, and this year I will not be the round guy.
Yes, we go.
I will be the skinny, slender blender. Paige in the house. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey? Looking good.
Buddy, refreshed. Recharged.
That's
But I want to address something quite early in this episode,
early. What's going on?
I must say something disturbing, okay? You cannot start all the companies out there. We cannot start the year, the 1st of January, and then the debit orders goes off.
Straight away, huh?
Yeah, buddy, I wake up 1st of Jan. I look at my phone. Ik said, the damn nerve. They've got a damn nerve for the debit orders to go off the 1st of January.
Yeah, but life must go on, okay? Life must go on. How was the holiday, yeah? You look busy, eh? Hopefully summertime, family time.
The amount of swimming I did with my family, the kids were happy, the wife is happy, the Ruckers were happy, the Ruckers were out in the numbers wherever we went.
Yeah.
Look, they just want to know who's going to be next, what's happening next, how you feel about this, can I pick your brain? So, but fantastic holiday.
Fantastic holiday with the friends and family, okay? Because I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, but it's good. We need to switch on, switch off.
But partner, the amount I ate over the holidays.
Trifles and
oh, the chocolates. It was sweet Mexican sweet chili Simba chips, some mosaikis, crackers with tuna on. Terrible.
But you know, new you, huh? What's your goals, yeah? Before we crack on, okay, let's have a good thank you. It's a new year, okay? Let's say thank you to our partners for incredible work, for us supporting us, especially SuperSport Bet. Support that always with SuperSport Bet. And we also got Ticket Pro, guys. Go check them out. Go check their websites. And you know, we're looking clean. We're starting the year fresh, and we're starting the year, on a clean page, yeah, with our Macron apparel sponsor as well. And later on, we got a new associate sponsor, but we'll partner. We'll break that through as we slowly get into 2025. Okay, there we go.
And Ruckers, what we can expect on episode 78. What we're gonna have on the show, we're gonna talk all things Investec Champions Cup. The big dogs are back again, okay? Dupont is in South Africa. We're going to discuss the fixtures that will be coming up. We were going to discuss the state of rugby in South Africa, looking ahead to this fantastic 2020-25. And then we're going to have a news segment on your number one rugby podcast. Bright Rock is coming on board the show, and we will be discussing how the segment will work, how we're going to determine each player from every team. But sit back, guys. This is the show where you will have the most fun this year. This is the show that you cannot go without in your week. This is your number one rugby podcast. And I want to again remind you guys, please smash the subscribe button. Again, even though it's a new year, we like, share and subscribe. Come on. If you're a rugby lover and if you're not a rugby lover, this is the show for you.
And a Juan de Jong and a Rudy Pace lover.
Okay.
The Ruckers, they know, yeah. Did you say Bright Rock?
Bright Rock.
Oh, privilege, say. Blessed, eh? What's going on?
Buddy,
talk to me.
What's a tup tup?
Bounce player?
Yes! We have we're gonna select a bounce player every week in our Bright Rock segment. The bounce player might be different. It's not gonna be your man of the match. It's not gonna be like every other rugby game. The bounce player will be selected by the two of us, the Bulls and the Stormers, as Bright Rock is the associate sponsor of both teams. Partner, how are we going to select the player each and every week?
Yeah, it's important to see. It's not all about the man of the match, but we look at something that happens. Maybe there's a flick pass. Maybe there's a clean that was powerful as well. because of Bright Rock, the associate sponsor of the Vodacom Bulls and the DHL Stormers, we're going to be picking them. I think for the first couple of weeks, I will be picking the DHL Stormers players just to see what's happening, and we'll explain why we picked them, and you will go with the Vodacom Bulls. But we'll also give our Ruckers an opportunity, okay, in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned, Ruckers, to see what's happening. You'll get the opportunity to pick the bounce player of the week. So make sure you stay tuned and look after what's happening in the next couple of weeks.
And Ruckers, just so you guys know, the bounce player of the week will be the moment that changes the game or the influence of the game. So that is how we're going to select each one player from 2 teams for the bounce player. But it's like Jay said, it could have been 80. That could also be a bounce moment
you
of the week.
You never know. Yeah, a lot can happen. Yeah, and we're so privileged to have Bright Rock on board as well. I mean, they love chains. We like to spice it up, and we love chains as well. And sometimes the bounce of the ball at rugby ball can go either way. It can go either way for you or against you, and that's where Bright Rock is there for the people. But we're so supportive of Bright Rock being an out table as well.
No, we're growing. The group, the circle is getting bigger on your number one rugby podcast. Yeah. Okay, Ruckers?
Make the circle bigger.
Exciting new segment. And it will start next week, right?
Next week indeed, yeah. Okay, so check it out.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But let's get to rugby. I've been waiting and looking at the summer series and stuff like that and getting to this rugby champion. And we're starting off with the...
Partner, before we get to the fixtures, let's quickly cover a bit of the rugby over the festive season. What have you seen? How have you felt about it? The Stormers are looking up.
Yep. We've turned the table a couple of times. Yeah, 2 important victories for us as well. I mean, it wasn't pretty. We'll speak about it later on in the shape of the Stormers. But to get 2 victories against the Lions and against the Springboks in black.
Okay.
The coastal derby, to get that and just to keep on climbing on the table as well and growing on the table, and it's looking good so far. But it's tough. A couple of games coming up as well after that. I know we've got Leinster away after Investec Champions Cup, and then also we're playing the Lions as well at home. But yeah, tough couple of games coming up. So it's important now to build momentum. Hopefully we get a couple of players back. We'll speak about it now. But yeah, it's important now to get going.
Really impressed by the Stormers. First of all, Ruckers, this short guy over here. Jongh, for his impact into the Stormers, massive difference. As soon as he started playing for the Stormers, you guys got the victories. Happy to obviously see the crowd at the DHL Stadium over the festive. Full house. Brilliant. Obviously, worrying factors for me over the Christmas period was Apilele Fassi getting injured. Andre Esterhuizen, unfortunately, those 2 players getting big injuries. It looks like Fassi might be out for a long time. So obviously, as he is also a rucker, it is not great to see players getting big injuries. And we want to wish him all of the best with his recovery.
Recovery indeed, yeah. Let's get to the fixtures quickly. Investec Champions Cup. We've been waiting for a very long time. Let's take it all in for a couple of seconds. I love it. Okay, that's the adrenaline when the people stand in the lineup to get out of into the stadium is something special indeed. Let's get to the fixtures of this weekend. We start off with the Stormers versus Sale Sharks, and that will be at 3 o'clock at the DHL Stadium. And then straight after, at 5:15, it's the Sharks versus Toulouse. It's the Champions Cup winners against the Challenge Cup winners. That's going to be a crack of a game. And then late night, 10 o'clock, hopefully we'll be there, Cast versus the Bulls. Okay? Hopefully my partner will be there at 10 o'clock at night, but we will be supporting those boys.
Yes.
Let's cover Investec Champions Cup. Let's start with the Stormers. And you've mentioned it now as well. You know, playing some good rugby gets lead up into the Investec Champions Cup. We haven't had good results when it came to Investec Champions Cup. It's been 0 on 2. But to have Dion Fourie back, to have Malevan, you know, Siabelo Senatla, in incredible form, what happened, especially, and he spoke about the opening up a little bit, what happened to him. He came off the bench the first game, and he got a start, he got his first try. It's incredible to see what how he's been playing this past couple of weeks. But yeah, it's just important. We got to keep going now. It's about rolling the ball, especially against a very tough Sale Sharks team. And we knew what happened the last time when they got here. We hurt them, so they're probably coming here to hurt us, and we got a lot of South Africans in that team as well.
No, look, partner, I'm really confident about the Stormers. Obviously, them turning the season around over the festive period was important. They're getting important players back, which is for the Stormers probably the most important thing. Having Dion Fourie back, getting Ivan Roos back. Hopefully soon, Damian Willem-Gaza will be back on the field.
Yeah, that's a mess.
So that is big players in critical positions. I don't see Sale Sharks coming to the DHL Stadium and beating the Stormers. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't think they'll have enough in the tank.
I think they do, eh? If you look at the Gallagher Premiership at the moment, they have got some very good players. And they've got George Ford back. And I mean, the Dupree brothers has been incredible. The Curry brothers is back. Not like last time they were here as well.
Yeah.
And there was some new talent as well when it comes to Sale Sharks. They're 15. Joe Carpenter is incredible. They've got the winger as well.
A really good player is the 9,
Rafi Quirk, yeah.
He's a really good player.
Final of the season as well, yeah. So they've got very good mixture of experience. And
do you believe they can upset the Stormers then?
I think so. I think for me, I know the Stormers has had some very good victories and results the past couple of weeks, 2 weeks, but it hasn't been good to me. It hasn't been good for me to say, listen here, we on a roll in terms of our form and how we play the game and what we want to do. I think there's a lot of changes on how we play the game. And I don't want to say that experienced players needs to hit their straps now and the form now to make sure that the team environment is good when it comes to all our set pieces and stuff like that. I think it will be great for us to get a W, the victory, but the victory is not important. It's important for us.
The way you play.
The way you play, because that will build. The process is more important than the victories. We're so focused on getting the victories at the moment, but I think Sale Sharks are a very good team and they're looking good at the Gallagher Premiership. And they're coming off a 2-1 as well. They're sitting pretty. When it comes to Investec Champions Cup, they had a very good win against Racing 92. As well with good players, Owen Farrell and the boys, and
it's a loaded team.
Achieva Daimani. So for me personally, I think it's going to be a cracker of a game. Everyone talks about the Challenge Cup winners versus the Championship Cup winners, but this game is going to be a tight game. And it's going to be a 50-50, but hopefully the Stormers will pull it through.
Okay.
But the Sharks I'm worried.
If I had to put a gun to your head, okay? I've got a gun to your head. Juan de Jongh, make a prediction. What are you going with?
It is a very tight game. Okay, for me, personally, it's a tight game. I want the Stormers to win, but I think the Sale Sharks, the way they're informed now at the moment, they're gonna pull this one through. For me personally, I know there's a lot of guys coming back. And Dion Fourie, when he came back for the first couple of games, incredible. He's in good form. I mean, it doesn't look like he's been out for 18 months. Evan Rose, hopefully when he gets back in his opportunity, he will slot in easily. But we still have injuries with Leoland Zas. We still have injuries with Dan Doop from experience and a captain's point of view that still needs to come back as well. And we'll see. Hopefully Ben Lauder will be back as well. So it's a 50-50 Sale Sharks with a couple of points. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 points for the Sale Sharks.
So a close game, but you're going with Sale Sharks.
Yeah, I think they're going to edge it with the experience they do have with the Dupree brothers, all three of them, with the Curry brothers, with George Ford at number 10, with the Carpenter and Rafi at number 9. That's going to be crucial for them. How are you feeling about the DHL Stormers? I know it's not a good way to start the season, especially with my boykies, but this year it's about gut. This year it's about gut and speaking their mind.
I like you speaking your mind. I'm actually going to speak my mind and I'm going to back the Stormers.
Yes.
Reasons for that is teams that tour to Cape Town generally doesn't do that well. La Rochelle last year came with a star-studded team. They actually lost against the Stormers. I just feel like the lights and the beaches and it's Caprice and it's Camps Bay and it's Clifton and boys are going to the waterfront. Somehow teams, when they tour Cape Town, they're not the same team.
Yeah, but last year maybe, but this year we had Toulon that came here and they got a victory. So it is a bit of a catch.
Kabega.
Huh?
It wasn't in Cape Town. They were down in PE. Completely different story.
Okay. I feel I totally understand.
Different story. So I'm going to go with the Stormers. Stormers by 7 at home this weekend. I feel like they know how important this game is. And hopefully us as South African teams will take the Investec Champions Cup a lot more serious this year.
Yeah, especially in this pool as
Treat
well.
it with respect. Put respect on the name. Investec Champions Cup.
Champions Cup. Huh?
Double.
This B and the second stringers.
Yes.
We don't like the second stringers here.
But it's going down in Durban.
It's going down.
For me, the biggest game of this week.
Let's get there. Just
going down in Durbs. In the Durban
Kings
box.
Park, eh? The Challenge Cup winners versus the Champions Cup winners. And that's going to be a good game.
It's the Springboks against France.
Okay?
It's what it is.
Rematch of the quarterfinals of 2023. Can you believe it?
Say it.
It was in Stade de France. Now we're back at Hollywood Kings Park. Okay? But it looks like they've got, looking at Toulouse, it looks like they've got their full strength coming to South Africa. We wanted it. We said, don't send B teams and weekend teams overseas or to South Africa. Africa, but it's going to be great to see. They played a second stringers in the top 12 competition against La Rochelle. They didn't get a victory because they're targeting one team, the Springboks, the Black Springboks. Okay.
But part of the thing I love about Toulouse is, right, they want to win the Investec Champions Cup.
Yeah,
They pride
everything.
themselves on getting another star on their jersey and the emblem.
Yeah.
So they bringing DuPont. They bringing Hintermark. They bringing Mufana. They bringing
Ramos.
Tongo Ramo. They
Flamand.
bringing Flamand.
Movaka.
Charlie Famawina. They bringing Jack Willis. That is a star-studded lineup, Ruckers. But our Sharkies, our Hollywood Bet Sharkies also are loaded. We have Humbanambi. We have Oxenchair. We have Trevor Hinyankane. We got Ibn Elizabethi this week. We got Pepsi Butchelezi. Sia Hamtanda Kulisi. Presidento. He's got Jaden Hendrickson, Grant Williams. Guys, we can go on. This is France against the Springboks down in the Durban box.
Yeah.
Game of the weekend.
But we have to look at the reality. We don't have Fassi. We don't have Andre Esterhuizen.
Okay.
I'm bursting the bubble again.
Okay.
You know, and at the end of the day, I mean, hopefully Ibn Etzebeth will be ready to play as well. And it's going to be a crack of a game. This is something we wanted to see. And you just said now Toulouse is a team that brings full strength. Okay, they're taking this competition serious, and so should the South Africans, and we spoke about it a couple of years. But it will be awesome to see DuPont, the number 9 DuPont in South Africa. That guy that I think is the number 1 rugby player, like the number 1 rugby podcast in the world. Okay, so we're gonna see him against, you know, 2 of the incoming Springboks like Jaden Hendrickson and Granty. Let's talk about that combination when it comes to number 9. I want to get your feels in terms of what we want to expect. Who's going to start for you? Who should start against DuPont, one of the best number 9s, best players in the world, like the young would say?
Look, I'm probably gonna. I love Grant. You know how I feel about Grant Williams. Granty has been injured over the past recent weeks. So probably playing, if Grant is available, Ruckers, as we're sitting here, obviously we don't know team selections and availability.
But the form of...
But Jaden Hendrickson was outstanding in Cape Town at the DHL Stadium.
Almost made it tough for us, yeah.
And he's obviously, him and his brother playing together, they look like they've got something that is special.
What is the differences? Because I was looking, especially when he came to the DHL Stadium, you know, Jaden, he's got subtle touches. Grant is very much speedy off the breakdown. Where I think Jaden has got that subtle touches where he looks short, play long, and he puts guys into space. But what is the kicking game like? What is the technical detail with the differences of the two of them?
I think Jaden's technical ability is fantastic. His ability to kick on a tiki is absolutely, and Jaden has got that moments of brilliance, as you just mentioned. I think that is what gets coaches excited about him. That's what gets me excited about him. But what Grant has for me is Grant has got consistency. He's got each and every week, his speed to the breakdown is brilliant. He's got 1 or 2 tries in him, linking up, support play, who's second to none in the world. TJ Perenara used to be the leading player when it comes to support play, scoring tries of that. Look, unfortunately for Grant, I think if I'm a coach and not Rudy Paige supporting Grant Williams, if I'm a coach,
the spark off the bench.
That is the thing, and you don't want no player. And even if Grant is watching this episode, he probably doesn't want to hear that. Where you say he's brilliant for 30 minutes off the bench.
Yeah,
but
no one wants to hear that.
No one wants to hear that.
No one wants to be a bomb squad. We love the name, but no one wants to be a bomb squad player. But is it safe to say that both of them are technically sound? The one just creates tries, and the one scoring tries.
Perfect. That's why you're a coach. Magnifique. Brilliant partner. Okay.
And while we're friends, let's talk about the best player in the world.
No. Okay. For you. Let's just make sure that disclaimer, Ruckers. For my partner, DuPont is the best player in the world. I've got other choices. But look, I'm looking forward to that matchup. Grant Williams, Jaden Hendrickson versus DuPont. Everything in Toulouse and France revolves around how DuPont plays. DuPont is physical. DuPont can kick left and right. DuPont's ability to fend people off.
Talk to me.
What influence is he going to have in Durban where the ball is going to be a little bit slippery?
A
little bit greasy. Will defense, Joey Mongala's defense be ready for what DuPont brings? The packages. DuPont likes to run with the ball. He doesn't always just go off the bench. He likes to take on pillar 2. So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. And it's going to challenge.
It's a bit the way he applies pressure on 9.
That is the best in the world with that.
Dupont and Toulouse in France's ability, they don't kick contestable, they kick long. And then they suffocate with the defensive line.
They're trying to get that 50-22s and stuff like that. But that's going to be crucial. I mean, we have to put pressure onto the best player like Dupont at the moment, especially with Eben Etzebeth. But if you put pressure onto them, we've got there's Intermac as well. That's going to be crucial.
It's Peter Aki on 12, partner. I know South Africans, we don't know. Peter Aki is a brilliant player, but plays for Toulouse on 12.
He is brilliant.
Tomo Ramo, for me, that should have been in the world, the dream team. So,
and if you give that guy penalties, it's 2 points, 5 points, 3 points. It's deadly. It's deadly. He's a point machine. So
do you think the Sharks can fall in the trap where they focus this week so much on what the point brings and they forget about the other players
100%,
who are French international players?
100%. I mean, if you're going to focus on Dupont, there's so much players in and around, especially the forwards as well. And the way they want to play, if you look at the Jack Willis episode as well, he speak about, small-sided games, quick ball, QBs, keep the ball alive. And that's the way they play. They want to keep the ball alive. They want to make sure they get in behind you and don't let your defense sit. And that's why you said, like...
Partner, is that massive? I can't pronounce his surname. Mafua. The lock that plays for France, he plays with Thibaut Flamont.
Yeah.
The lock pairing that's going to come around the corner. It's Muvaka against Bongi Umbenambi. It's Cyril Bailly, the loose head that plays for France against either Trevor or Vincent Koch. Yo, guys, you cannot miss that game this weekend, Ruckers, okay? France versus the Springboks.
100%.
But, yeah.
From 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you sit in your seats and you support the boys. Okay?
Ruckers, and luckily it's that time of the day, it's January.
Yeah,
okay?
Or
pocket
cash content.
No one's going to invite you for a braai. Nothing is going to happen. So sit back and enjoy this fantastic rugby games coming up.
Yeah. And let's talk about quarter past 5. Where you feel? What side are you? Are you red? Are you black? What's going on?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this one probably since last night and this morning, and who am I going to back and who I'm going to pick.
It's easy for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're going to go Toulouse?
I want to see what's going on in your head.
Look, Andre Esterhuizen is out.
Yes.
Fassi is out.
Eben 50-50.
Eben is 50-50.
Grandi
hasn't played a while. I'm going to go with Toulouse. I'm going to go with Toulouse, Ruckers. I apologize to all my Sharks friends and players. But I think Toulouse, with the fact that they rested their players, the amount of... Yeah, I'm going to go Toulouse by 5. Toulouse by 5, that's
100%,
me.
and I'm in the same boat, and it's an easy yes for me. Not disrespectful. Hopefully the Sharkies, you can change.
I would love the Sharks to prove me wrong.
Me, man.
Please prove me wrong, Sharks.
Okay, Sharkies. So, I just think at the moment, with the Sharks are leading up to the Investec Champions Cup with a couple of games that they've played, or the game they played against the Stormers, they're on a little bit of not building. They've lost a couple of players that's in and out. You know a team,
Fassi
if the 15 guys
loss.
are together and they play...
Fassi is a big loss. Andre Esterhuizen is also a big loss.
If you don't have the weekend special, can the weekend be special? That's the question we need to ask. Okay?
That's how we start in 2025. I want more of that.
Yeah, okay.
2025, I want him to be sharp.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's an easy rate. It's an easy rate. I mean, the Red Kingdom of Toulouse is coming down here for 1 point to prove the Dupont. And if the Dupont is playing at the moment, I think it's going to be 20, 30 points. So I would say at the moment, they're going to put a lot of pressure onto the Sharks. Hopefully the Sharks can prove me wrong. And this is Toulouse plus 20. It's Toulouse plus 20 because I do know if there's penalties, they're going to put us under pressure. If the star-started boys play, they're going to put us under pressure, the set pieces, scrums and the lineouts. Any penalties within the half, it's 3 points. It's 2 points. I mean, Ramos doesn't miss. He's got a 90% kicking record. If you give opportunities to the point, he will put the people into space. They've got this high-tempo game on top of you. So if the defense doesn't sit, it's pressure all the way. And we don't know who's going to play 15. I think, are we going to put Jaden Hendricks at number 15? We're going to put, who's we going to play 12? That's Ethan who can come to the midfield.
Yeah,
you got the boogeyman, Jorenzo Juris at number 13. He's also young. He's also finding his feet. He's good. He's talented. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of inexperience. They've got Andre Venter, not Andre Venter, the 12 center from the Cheetahs.
François Venter.
Ja. Just where my
Andre Venter.
Hoek was center.
Ik ga daar nou.
So we got François Venter, number 12. Is experience enough, but I mean, you got to look at form. You got to look at the
quality.
Minutes under the belt
Quality also.
as well.
So to lose by 20.
By 20.
Okay.
It could have been 80. But let's not go to Jake. Let's not go to Jake.
Okay, I'm going to go. I'm just going to go to lose by 5. I still think with Siya Kolisi, Bongi Mbanami, Eben Etzebeth, there's still enough for the Sharks to win this one. And I'm hoping the Sharks win this one.
Yes, me too. But it's the year's 2025. We got to go with gut. Okay? We say it with our chest these days. Okay, whatever you think.
Don't talk about my gut.
We gotta be honest. We gotta say it with our chest, and I mean, we gotta say what I feel. And I mean, the Red Kingdom is on fire.
Okay, let's go to France then. Let's go to Cast versus Bulls. Vodacom Bulls
at 10 o'clock at night. Saturday, 10 o'clock at night. You gonna be awake? Because I'm 50-50.
No, I'll be awake.
Okay, yes,
I'll definitely be awake.
I'll join you. Yeah.
But this is gonna be a tough one also for the Bulls. I know obviously Jake and them, they're not taking a stronger side with.
Yes,
which might be a good thing. But I know playing in Cast that doesn't have stars, they don't have a big name, but it's a tough old place to play rugby.
Is it? I haven't had the opportunity to play there.
It will be nice and cold. It will be slippery. Hopefully it won't be raining in Cast. It's about an hour and a half's drive from Toulouse. A proud rugby town. Extremely proud. They've won a top 14 previously. Players. They have Jack Goodhue, the old All Black centre, the Crusaders centre that's playing there for them. The old team of Rory Cockett that Rory played for over 10 years for.
Are they top of the top 14 or bottom?
They're a bit low.
They're a bit low.
A bit low.
So the form, they're struggling with form.
I don't look when it comes to top 14. It's never about form. It's top 14 times. They pick games. They target certain games. They beat Munster not too long ago at home. So they are looking pretty decent in the Investec Champions Cup. And I think they would target this game as well, knowing that the Bulls are traveling. The Bulls have to fly via Qatar and all these things to get to Toulouse.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tough night out for the Bulls. That's my gut feeling.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe it will be.
It's tough, yeah. I mean, the traveling is tough, especially when you go for a week. And that's why we see the stuff that we don't like. We're sending weekend teams out and away because the next week they're playing Stade Francais at home. So you can't send your full strength there, coming back on Tuesday or Wednesday, a couple of days to prep for that as well. But yeah, it's so tough. I mean, economy class, going there, having this long 24 hours of travel, going to Cast, and you say, I don't know, I haven't played there. You say it's a tough outing to go play there. But there's a lot of guys that Jake White took that wants opportunity. And that makes sometimes it dangerous.
Hungry dog.
Hungry dog. It's going to be individual-ish. Okay, and hopefully more individual players will shine because a lot of the time when you put 15 guys together that hasn't played in a long time, they want to impress the coach, they want to impress Jake, and they want to be back in the squad as well.
But Parton, you also know when you go into a game like that as a B side, the pressure is off.
Yeah,
you don't have that T-Rex arms where we have to win. So it might lighten the load for the boys that 100%. Get opportunity to throw the full kitchen sink.
100%. Put them under pressure. In the first 20 minutes, blast them off the park and see what happens. And a lot of the time when it comes to a weekend team going over, the first 20 minutes, they're strong. But it's important for this team especially to make it 80 minutes and keep pushing and keep the belief. Because if a team like Cast is looking at the team sheet and they see the B team coming, it also lifts their spirit a little bit.
Yeah, it takes your foot off the pedal immediately.
I don't think it's a B team as well. I mean, there's guys there that played, Papier and all these boys are over there. Van der Walt has played a couple of games. There's going to be 50-50 in terms of weekend squad. But it's an opportunity for the Bulls and it's an opportunity for the youngsters and an opportunity for these guys that hasn't played a lot, maybe like the Nizam Carson, that hasn't played a lot this season to show, listen here, Jakey, let's build it up. When it comes back to Loftus Versfeld, we have an opportunity. Look, so I think I'm going to back the Bulls with this one.
Okay.
I'm going to back the Bulls with this one. I think if they can blast them off the pass for the first 20 minutes and make it the 70 minutes, there's opportunity there. And it all depends on what form the Cast players will be in.
Look, I'm gonna go for Cast, just because I haven't been extremely happy over the last 4 or 5 games with the
where
form
you guys are at
with the form of my Bulls team.
And it's been how many games now? A couple of games
We've
now?
lost 3 in a row with our stronger side. Our attack just hasn't looked really smooth, which has been really frustrating.
It's the confidence thing, because a lot of the time when you come to the 22 and stuff like that, you're not capitalizing on opportunities and stuff like that.
And I still strongly believe we need a fly-off in Pretoria. We need to go find the fly-off, Coach Shaky.
Like a
Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu.
like a dog.
Like a Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu.
Okay.
Like a Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu. Okay, I apologize. Or a Damien Balumsa, but hey, we can compose you in Cape Town. We've done it for years.
They love the beach, but okay.
So we still need a fly-off, and it just hasn't looked like a well-oiled machine like we looked early on in the season. So the last 3 games has been alarming, and for that reason alone, I'm going to go with Cast, knowing that the boys traveled so far, and our focus will be on next week playing Stade Francais at home. So I'm going to go Cast by 10 points.
By 10 points.
By 10 points.
Oof.
Yeah.
Not even 5 or 4. 10. 10. Say the chest. We said
10
about chest.
points for Cast.
We're going with guts these days. Okay?
Yes.
10 for Cast, yeah.
Physical
But it's going to be
with
like a game, yeah. It's an important game for all the South African teams, if you look at it. The Bulls is also 0 from 2. The Stormers is 0 from 2. When they come back from Cast, they're playing Stade Francais in their own backyard at Loftus, and that's the game they want to target.
Yes.
So they need this victory. They need next week's victory to make sure that they at least top 4 and get into the top 16.
Playoffs.
Yeah, because you don't want to be... If you're number 5 in the log, you're actually playing
Challenge
top 16
Cup.
of the Challenge Cup.
Yes.
So you don't want to go there.
But you can go there.
But you can go there because it's not weakened teams, but it's not the strongest of teams.
No, it's weekend teams.
Okay.
Say it.
But then if you don't
2025, we say things as it is.
without gut.
Challenge Cup is weekend teams, as Europa League.
Yeah, so it's another angle to get into the Champions Cup for the next, if you win that league as well. So everyone is weighing up their options. There's no use putting full strength teams into the competition if you're also going to be number 4, because then you play against the Leinsters and the Toulouses. So it's a bit of a, do you just see what happens, or do you go full out? And even though it's a tough top 16 and a tough quarterfinals, so much to think about, so much to look at.
Cast by 10.
Cast
That's
by
my
10.
thing. My pick. My super sport bet.
Pick. Okay.
Okay.
And Bulls by 5.
You're
That's
going
my
Bulls
pick.
by 5.
That's my pick. It's my super sport
Okay.
pick.
I love it.
Bulls
I
by
love
5. So Bulls is hopefully there's an upset there because the back's against the wall.
But it's
and the
exciting
underdogs.
rugby partner, the weekend
Up,
coming up. And while there's exciting rugby, I think it's important that we start this year in discussing, looking at the state of rugby in South Africa.
Yes.
How are we feeling about where our franchises are at? The amount of youth that are coming through within those teams. Are there guys that are putting their hands up for selection come 2025 international season? Because now we're starting to look ahead to the 2027 World Cup in Australia.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the current state of rugby in our country?
100%. Yeah. Before we get there, I just want to quickly get to the fixtures of this. Also the Challenge Cup as well. That will be Montpellier versus Lions at 7:30, and the Cheetahs versus Zebra as well. Looking at all those 5 teams, I mean, the Cheetahs also have the opportunity now. The talent in South Africa is, we know, okay? Especially when it comes to a couple of regions within South Africa. You know, the Western Cape, it's got a natural academy. There's a lot of talent all around, and the squads are being bolstered. But for me, personally, we had a discussion as well. For us to be competitive in the Investec Champions Cup, to be competitive in the URC, we need bigger squads. We need bigger squads. Maybe we need more money for bigger squads, because players, good players.
You want more than 50 guys in a squad?
But good players.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's not about the 50. It's about, like Jake White said in the episode, he said, if you can get the quality players back playing in South Africa, you know, like the Dupree brothers and the stuff like that, to get strength versus strength within South Africa in the squad. If we do have that, we can compete in Investec Champions Cup and at URC. Because no use having 50 players, 20 of them are senior players, 10 gets injured, you're sitting with 10. So this is something we have to look at when moving forward. I know it's only year 2 or 3 when it comes to Investec Champions Cup and the URC, but the talent in South Africa, unbelievable. Springbok Rugby has been awesome. We only lost 2 games this season. We know we're sitting at a situation after 2027, the Rugby World Cup. We will have guys that's 35, 36 and older boys. But I'm also happy with the talent within South Africa coming through. The Jorenja Juries, Ethan Hookers, the Q&Os, the guys that got debuts, the Hendricks is as well, Q&On. But all in all, it looks. We just need to make sure that the top of the top looks after the systems and guide the systems in the right way. In that sense.
Look, for me, obviously Springbok rugby with under Coach Rassie is in a brilliant place. And I think with the upcoming games against Italy, we're going to have amples of times this year to give a lot of young players caps and to see where we're at from that point of view. The worrying factor for me this year and throughout URC probably is our transition from under 20s going into playing senior rugby. There's a lot of boys that plays under 20s but doesn't make it. Is that lost because URC is an easier competition? So players play longer in the positions because there is 6-7 victories out there in the URC. Whether you're a good team or not, you can beat Zebre home and away. You can beat Edinburgh home and away. So that for me is the worrying factor. Developing from the Craven Week to SC under 20, then to the URC, we only have 4 teams.
Because the gap is been taken away a little bit because the Currie Cup gap, even though we still have Currie Cup there, but no one wants to play in it. And
no one wants to play Currie Cup, no?
And it's not the Currie Cup it used to be because of where they're making space for the Currie Cup. And it's not a competition with the history of it to make space for it. So the gap between under 20s, we always had a very good under 20s. We also had a very good Currie Cup. And then we used the youngsters and play them in the sevens just for a little bit of experience, international experience. And if you can get 3 or 4 guys out of the sevens straight into the senior setup, it makes life easier for the conveyor belt and talent coming through. But now we're getting stuck. We play SN at 20, the boys getting lost. There doesn't seem like there's a sevens development for the youngsters coming through as well. And it doesn't look like the Currie Cup, the empowering the Currie Cup, it should be, because if you look at it, it is too much competitions. And it's too much rugby. And it's not irritating the spectators, because you don't want to watch too much rugby of guys not strength versus strength anyway.
And I think that's my worrying factor with the Currie Cup partner, right? Is you don't want to, you're already watching a URC game where, let's say, we take the Lions versus Connacht and you really don't know who's playing in that game. Now you take a Currie Cup game where it is a third string Sharks team or a third string Stormers team that plays in a Currie Cup game. You got no clue who it is. And it just gets a little bit diluted where there's no one in the stadium.
Yeah, no
one is talking about it. No one is hyping it up. So I am really worried about state of Currie Cup. Is there still a place for Currie Cup in South Africa? I know how you strongly feel about it. But is it too much rugby? Is it too much rugby for the audience? Is it too much rugby for the player itself that's sitting in the system? We don't have breaks anymore. There's a lot more injuries. A lot of boys are getting more injured. So that's the stuff we gotta see.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff to see, and I mean, the top of the top is making these decisions. And if you look at the Currie Cup, it's the historical competition. I mean, over 150 or something years, the Sir Donald Cup. But it's special and it's history with it.
Would you still like to see the Currie Cup being played this year? Do you still think it's important that it still happens?
I think we need a competition that still needs to happen.
Bridging.
Yeah, we need that bridging. Okay. And especially when you look at the second division players, the SA Cup players, there's still a gap for these players to maybe build it up into the URC, because we lost the Cheetahs. We only have the top 4. And it's not like we've got to have the Investec Champions Cup where all 4 of the teams will play there as well, because that is the big league. But yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen. I mean, the top of the top, the CEOs and these type of people will make the slim cutter will make these decisions. But I also think like maybe we need an international calendar year as well, and that will make everything easier, especially for when it comes to Australia and New Zealand as well. If you have an international competition, hopefully we can have the Cheetahs and the Bolans and the Pumas and whatsoever. If they don't want to play Currie Cup, they can play against the Taranakis and the Hawke's Bays and whatsoever. And even the Queensland of Australia. We can build an international competition that's strong enough on a lower category and still get quality of playing with a calendar year that doesn't have 4 competitions into 1 year. That's just don't give us any breaks. They don't give us opportunities for the players to rest as well. And we will see then weekend teams against weekend teams.
Yeah, look, I don't think Japan will probably not do that. They are quite happy with how with their system. They only play 5 months of the year. And I know the players love it there. The boys know that they get time off.
That's 4 months off.
4 months off.
Yeah, but they're getting the money.
Yes.
So Sometimes you gotta work for the moolah.
Would you do it? Would you do it? Exactly.
Not if I'm pressurized.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's why the players go. That's why you see guys like Kurtley Arendse go to Japan and the Jasper Wieses and stuff like that. It's such a catch-22. I don't want to say catch-22, but in a way where we're losing our talent for the money. They know they're resting their bodies. They know they can play to the 41s and the 42s at the end of the day. But we're losing our eyes in South Africa because the youngsters want to see Kurtley Arendse and the Jasper Wieses and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll have to...
But then talking about Springbok rugby, looking at 2025, is there any guys for you that you would want to see get a cap this year? Or is there any dark horses that you saw either in Craven Week or SA Under 20 that you think can maybe surprise us becoming a Springbok either in the inbound series, end of the year tour? Is there any guys out there in the system that can be the next Siya Kolisi, the next Eben Etzebeth?
100%, yeah. And you have to look at it that way because we spoke about the age of the boys currently at the moment. I mean, for me, we saw Cameron Anakum. He got his one cap and we thought we had, throughout this year, there's 13, 14 caps. We should have gotten more. He got injured as well. So he's going to get a lot of caps for next season. He's brilliant. He's physical. He's elusive. He's got that X factor with him, that pure speed, physicality and strength and speed as well of the mark. He's going to get a lot of opportunities. I think Ethan Hooker is a must Springbok for 2025. He's been incredible. You can slot him in at wing. You can slot him in at 13. He's physical. He's strong. He showed his speed as well. He's going to be someone that's going to get a couple of caps. And I would like to see also some other boys like Juan getting more opportunities. I mean, we do have Fassi that's injured at the moment. We do have Willie that's getting on the older side as well. Who's our next 15? So we need to get that Juan maybe an opportunity to get going. We need to give guys like Krappie more opportunities with his youngsters as well. Fafi might move on. Kobus Reinhardt might move on. Give him opportunities and give him experience behind Granty and Hendricks as well. So there's a few boys that we need to filter in, especially this season, and we need to start now. I mean, last year was a little bit of a starter for us. This year we're going to be tested in a lot of ways. Looking at Eden Park, looking at the Wellington test as well. Those are the two big ones. And I still feel like we need to give guys opportunities when it comes to the autumn series and the end of the year. So let's give the guys in the Currie Cup opportunities. Look at some talent over there. If they forward of the season, backline of the season, they're playing like a house on fire. Pick one or two. Spark it up. Make the Currie Cup and the SA Cup, and these people believe maybe there is opportunity to get straight through. You don't believe that? You want to get them to URC and straight into opportunities. But they're taking a bigger squad. So we need to start growing the game in certain areas to keep the interest important in all the competitions and not looking at one as well.
Look, you're never going to keep everybody happy. That is unfortunate, the reality. Have you watched any SA Cup games?
I've watched a couple of games and there's a lot of talent when it comes to, especially the small regions. I mean, the Griffins and them. There is talent over there. It might take time because experience is all we need. But the question I have is, how are we going to have the conveyor belt moving smoothly? Because at the moment, it feels like we have two sections of the conveyor belt and there's a gap in between. So for us to make sure that we're still competitive in international rugby in 2040, 2050, we need to start making sure that the conveyor belt is a nice, smooth little line coming through. So that is my point. A point, and the development in the coaching as well is important. I mean, Elton spoke about it last week and about the game changes, the personal development. Because rugby today, it's all focused on set piece, getting the lineouts ready, getting the set piece. You run short, we out the back. But what about the pass to make that perfect pass? If you look at the players, Marcus Smith and Finn Russell, we need to develop that. And in South Africa, it doesn't look like we got the focus over there to get the individual brilliance. We got a lot of good academies talking about SAS Rugby, Stellenbosch Academy of Sport, where Juan de Jongh does his thing when it comes to personal development. But we need more of that to look after our youngsters. And to make sure.
SAS is the dier.
Huh?
SAS is the dier.
No, but the quality is important. No, the quality is important, yeah. But we need that. Otherwise, the guys are just going to focus on the running lines and they're going to focus on gym work and stuff like that, bodybuilders. And we don't want that as well.
Look, for me, the worrying factor is looking at the age gaps that we're going to have in 2027 is going to be a lot in the front. We're going to have Franco Mostert 36. We're going to have Francie Malherbe 36. We're going to have Bongi Mbenambi 36. We're going to have Kutsi 35. We're going to have Pieter Steve de Tweet 35. So that's going to be everyone in their mid-30s. Who's our next hooker? Is it going to be Grobbies? Is it going to be Jan-Hendrik Wessels?
Yeah, especially up front.
So up front for me is the worrying factor looking at 2027. Not now. For now, the next 3 years, we are sorted.
Yeah.
Our boys will still do a job. Hopefully, the franchises can look after their bodies really well. Rest them in URC games.
Coaches want to play their best. They are going to get the best out of those numbers because they get the big bucks.
So is that our big concern?
But you can't put pressure onto the coaches because W's is important as well. Because when it comes to the end of the season, the coaches' head is on the block as well. So
but we haven't had any big coaches being fired in URC because the competition for me is a lot easier than what we had in Super Rugby.
Yeah.
So can't they rest players in URC? Springboks.
They're not going to fire the coaches because obviously they got the 3-year deal. If things go really bad, they might fire them. But the coaches, as soon as it comes to the last year of their term, they're getting not impatient, but they're getting desperate in a way to play these boys.
So what do you do yourself?
You got to be because you got the director of rugby, you got the CEO, you got the guys on top of you as well. So even though it's a cutthroat industry, you spoke about it, and it's a selfish environment because the coaches think, listen here, you're getting your 5 million a year, whatever it is these days. It's a lot. But whatever it is,
I was just about to say,
I don't know,
5 million rand for
I don't know who's used that players.
I'm going to leave whatever I'm busy with.
No, I'm talking about the players getting 5 million because the coaches know these players are getting this money. So he's like, okay, you got to earn it. Now you injured for 12 months. You're getting, for sitting in the ice bath, you're getting 1,000 rand for 10 minutes sitting in the ice bath. That's how they look at it. So that's how the world works today. And that's how rugby works today. It's a business. And directors of rugby and people will say it now these days. Yeah. They're not shy to say it. When it comes to France, at Toulon and Toulouse, they will say it's a business. It's nothing personal. If you want sympathy and if you want...
Get a doggy.
Get a dog.
Get a dog.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Get a dog. Yeah.
I've heard that a lot in rugby.
100%, yeah.
But Ruckers, I know today has been a lot of rugby, and I want you guys to feel free in our comment section. Give your opinion. Share with us what you think, who might be the next Springbok, who might put up their hands and say, Rassi, I'm going to be the next guy after 2027. With the dilemma of the amount of rugby the boys are playing. We want you guys to feel part of this rugby show, of our show.
Get into the comment and get involved as well. It is a WhatsApp channel as well. We just had a poll as well. Who will go the furthest when it comes to Investec Champions Cup? And it looks like the Storm, they're backing the Stormers.
Everyone is backing the Stormers.
50%. And then we got all the other boys, the Sharks and the Bulls at 30%. Which is, you would say the Sharkies will get more percentage. So get involved in the WhatsApp channel.
And guys, also why we created the WhatsApp channel is so we can encourage you guys to send questions for the guests that we have on the show. Yep. We want to make the show more that you guys are involved and part of the show. So please go and join our WhatsApp channel. Please make sure that you smash the subscribe channel. Last year, it was over 70% of the viewers of Behind the Ruck was not subscribers.
I don't like that. I want 50%. Shake with your chest, the gut.
Yes, the gut.
25 with the gut, yeah. Hey, is that it?
It's it, partner.
Yeah, exciting for what's coming here. And guys, let's make sure we clear the other racks as well. Episode 76 with Edwin van der Merwe. I know it's festive time. Coach Jake White at episode 77. It's festive time, but you're settling down now. Okay, you at work now.
Yes.
The year's only starting in February when it comes to the ticket.
Catch up if you missed any episodes.
Okay, the boss won't be angry. Okay, use your January wisely at all times.
And Ruckers, before we say goodbye, myself and my partner, we will be at the SA20, the cricket tournament that's currently happening, the T20 tournament, where we will be doing all the fan frenzies of the stadium. So guys, come and say hello to us, come and do some interviews with us, and come and have fun as Behind the Stumps are back.
A lot happening. So we got the advert coming up, Super Sports Bet, okay?
Yes.
Have a look out for that. We will be on Via as well with Gesels, okay, with Leandi.
Yes.
Okay, we're on the Afrikaans, Via Afrikaans going
lekker.
as well. And then the other one, Slim van
Van
sy
sy
baas.
baas. Okay, so Ruckers, check out for the
taking
tour.
out the strandlopers to see how smart we are. Okay,
Come
all the
on.
Ruckers in the house. Okay, and that's it. Eh?
That's it, guys.
Let's start this year.
Yes, but before we say goodbye, I almost forgot, Paddy.
Yeah.
Guys, Behind the Ruck is proudly supported by SuperSport Bet, our new associated partner on Behind the Ruck, Bright Rock. Welcome on board, guys. Please make
Bright
sure
Rock.
you go check out Bright Rock stuff on their social media, on their website, and then Ticket Pro for all your ticket needs for the SAT 20. Go buy your cricket tickets on Ticket Pro. Okay, guys, those are the people that are making sure that we can grow, develop, and evolve. So please make sure as they are supporting us, you guys go and support them.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching the #1 Rugby podcast.
Ooh, they make us grow and I will grow
Exactly.
in 2025. Hey, here we go,
man.
hey guys. I'm Juan de Jongh.
I'm Rudy
And
Paige.
the Ruck is clear. Bye-bye.
See you next week, guys.